Mike. Toronto. VK on the beat. Check. I'm in Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto like we wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love.
Welcome to episode 1125 of Toronto Mic'd. Proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. StickerU.com. Create custom stickers, labels, tattoos, and decals for your home and your business. Palma Pasta. Fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees. The Yes We Are Open podcast, a Benares podcast production. The Advantaged Investor podcast from Raymond James, Canada. EPRA, committing to our planet's future, means properly recycling our electronics of the past. Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of the community since 1921. And Canna Cabana, the lowest prices on cannabis, guaranteed. Joining me today, making his Toronto Mike debut, better late than never, is musician Matt Dusk. Welcome, Matt.
Hello. I am already ready to drink and smoke and die. This is great.
In that order.
Yeah.
Okay, don't mess up that order.
No.
That's important here. Listen, my friend, this has been a long time coming. I waited for milestone episode 1125 to get Matt Dusk on Toronto Mike. This is a big deal to me.
Congratulations. Did you start at 1,000?
Yeah, that's my secret to my longevity. I started counting at 1,000.
I remember when I was a kid, I started my music business. I started my check count at like 1,110.
Oh,
just so
like
people
a
like,
random
oh.
number. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I started I run TMDS, Toronto Mike Digital Services, and I had new accounting software, and this was a few years ago. And I remember that feeling where the first invoice was at like 00001, and you're like, oh, like that's number, like this guy he's so green. And I was thinking what you did there, I'm like, yeah, like who said I had to start at 1? But then I thought like my brain would I'd get all confused if I didn't start at 1. So it's like
blow up.
So somebody paid invoice number 00001.
Are you at number 2 yet?
I'm sending number 2 to you.
Awesome.
Okay?
I'll pay. Cash only. Coins.
Matt, you're by the way, right off the top, people think that Matt Dusk is a stage name,
Totally.
like Dusk, Matt Dusk. But I did a little digging. That's your real name, buddy.
It is. It's from my old days when I used to be in the clubs. This is going back to like the mid-90s. I had a band leader who said, "Hey, kid, love your name. It's too long. Got to fit on a beer coaster." And he said, "Do you have a name in mind?" I was like, "I don't know. My friends call me Matt." Perfect, Matt Dusk. That's my name.
But Dusk is your legit last name, no?
It's been my name since I was born.
Since you were born. Okay, just confirming. I don't want anyone to be updating Wikipedia right now with this late breaking news here. So you're a legit Matt Dusk, and you're a Toronto guy, right?
Born and raised here. This is my favorite place in the world.
What neighborhood were you raised in?
Etobicoke. I was,
Okay.
well, hold on a sec.
Okay.
Let's go. That's where I remember most of my life. But Weston, Jane and Lawrence. What a great old neighborhood. Such a cool place.
I consider it a bit like Streetsville in that it's like a little village in a big city when you're in Weston.
Totally. My parents had a triplex that was on a street called William Street, and it was like one of those old Victoria homes that had been split into gajillion units.
Yeah.
So I was raised in a village.
I actually, I like to take the Humber Trail, so I'll jump on the Humber
beautiful.
Trail and
Yeah.
waterfront and take it north. And that's where I stop because that's where the stairs are, okay? So, and people who bike this trail know what I'm talking about. But that Weston Bridge that you go under on the Humber Trail,
That's right.
you can't continue unless you walk your bike up a set of stairs, and then you have to go on Weston Road for a bit and then rejoin
lazy.
the trail. No, I do it.
Come on.
And they did add this, like the stairs that you can actually have like a slot for your wheel of your bike, which is
Right up.
an easier way to bring your bike upstairs. But I did that ride yesterday.
Beautiful day for it. Probably one of our last days. What a great way to spend Thanksgiving.
What neighborhood do you reside in now, Mr. Dusk?
I am in Etobicoke. It's called like Humber Valley something. It's like Roy York and Dundas, Kipling and Eglinton.
God. Okay. Did you attend the Taste of the Kingsway?
This year I did not. I was on tour, but I've gone many times.
Great Lakes Brewery. Now, I want to give this to you off the top. That's why I'm jumping into this. We have a lot of ground to cover. But Great Lakes Brewery was the beer vendor of choice at Taste of the Kingsway. I was there. I had a fresh craft beer there. And I'm sending you home. Now, this is so hyper local to you because they brew this on like Royal York and Queen Elizabeth Boulevard. You know where the Costco is?
Yep.
Like down the street from the Costco. Couldn't be closer to you. You're leaving here with fresh craft beer from Great Lakes Brewery. Speaking of booze, how do I get myself an invitation to your home so you can make me a Manhattan? Is that in the cards at all? Like, does it depend how this conversation goes?
Anytime, as long as it's after 6 p.m. I have a 6 p.m. rule.
Okay, before 6. That's why you're not wearing
after
a tux.
6. After 6.
I was wondering what you'd wear to this recording because I can't picture you in your you're in a t-shirt.
Yeah, well, it's a nice day out.
It is a nice day out, but I thought you might have a
suit on,
a tuxedo.
Yeah, no, I either dress to the nines or dress like a bum. It's kind of in between. There's no in between.
So shout out to Nadia Thiner who wanted to know if you still live in Etobicoke, but we did address that. You love Etobicoke, and that's where you are right now.
Yep.
Jimmy Jam, right off the top, I want to say hi to Jimmy Jam, who said, I was a small fan earlier, but a big fan after seeing him at Casa Loma.
Wow.
So you won him over.
What a great venue. I mean, you got to think of how many great parties they've had there, how many great big bands used to play there, how many current artists play there. It's quite a location.
And it's our only castle, right? I can't think of a second castle in the city. Do we have another castle in the city?
I don't think so.
That's it, right? Okay. Okay, I want to just shout out Diane Leifer. That's a great name, I think, if you're, especially if you're a hockey fan, Diane Leifer. But
Die Hard.
She was such a fan, she changed her last name to Leifer. Diane Leifer writes in, hopefully he will have some St. Mike's Choir School stories.
Absolutely.
So you attended St. Michael's Choir School.
Yeah, so when I was in the mid-'80s, my parents sent me to this Catholic school called St. Michael's Choir School.
Right.
And, people ask me, well, why did you choose to go there? As a 6-year-old, didn't really have much of a choice.
No.
However, though, I basically spent most of my childhood during the day at Yonge and Dundas when it was pretty seedy. I mean, the
Gene Machine was there.
The Gene Machine was there. There was a guy on the corner who would always hand out the flyers. They had Street Fighter inside. We would always save our quarters to go play.
Right, the arcade was there.
That's right. So it's like every time I come back down to see Toronto, I mean, if it's 2 months, a year, whatever, everything's always changing. But I remember that really cool. I don't want to call it seedy, but I want to call it like it was.
It had character.
It had character.
Because I got okay. So you're the same age as my one of my brothers is your exact age, and I know that because his wife remembers you from university. So Vanessa says hello. Yo, Vanessa.
What's up?
So I know I got a few years on you, but I 100% have the same memories of taking the trip to downtown Toronto and you
Sam the Record Man.
You got A&A and Sam's, and then HMV shows up, and yeah. And I remember the greatest fear we had was that will somebody roll me for my Walkman?
I used to get rolled for quarters when I used to go to the arcades in the basements. I mean, that would happen.
That's a real Toronto story right there.
Right. Quarters or TTC tickets. One of the two.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Or not your Docs. Did you have a pair of Docs?
No, man. I grew up with Reeboks. My parents never bought me any brand name stuff, so.
No. You got to do that yourself after grade 9, right?
Yep.
You got to
got my money.
Get some cash. So you're at St. Michael's Choir School. Mm-hmm. What is your musical taste like at this time? Or what are you into grunge? Like what are you into at this time?
So I think as a 6 or 7-year-old, you're kind of just living with what your parents have on. Right. So basically they had this station on called CJRT FM, which is now Jazz FM, 91.1. In the old days, they used to play classical music. So classical and choral, and when you look at St. Michael's Choir School, which is located a block and a half away from Massey Hall, there's also this giant cathedral there. So I was kind of indoctrinated into this classical material.
Right.
So that's what I was listening to, but it wasn't until my friends had cassettes and we used to get our Walkmans that I discovered I remember the first cassette I ever listened to. It was Eddie Murphy Delirious.
There you go.
And I never ever heard swear words before that moment, that amount of gratuitous swearing.
Yeah, that hit us kids like a ton of bricks right between the eyes. Like,
now
what is
looking
this?
back, you're like, how did that even happen?
And that didn't age well, right? Because they have all those F-bombs, and I ain't talking about, F-U-C-K.
Well, funny enough, my wife, she's from Poland, and I met her, I think sometimes in the mid 2000s, and one of the first things, this is, some of the clips were on YouTube, and I showed her it, and she was like, how is this even possible? She goes, I don't know how to react.
Right. No, I know it is shocking when you remember loving it, and you and your friends loved it, and then you come back decades later as an adult, and you revisit and you go like, oh, like we thought that was funny.
Times change.
That's not funny.
Not anymore.
Times change, my friend. Okay, so is Eddie Murphy, who was also a singer, lest we forget.
That's right. I mean, who was his favorite singer? It was like, he used to do a really good Stevie Wonder impression.
Oh yeah, I know he did a great Stevie
and he
Wonder.
also had that whole "I want to party all the time,"
which was a legit hit.
Yeah.
And I remember like that was would sit alongside your Phil Collins and your your Peter Gabriel or whatever, but it was like a legit top 40 hit.
How many kids does he have now?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he's got a lot.
How many kids do you have?
I have one.
Okay, you have one. So
one's enough.
Is it one and done?
Well, one, and she's 6 years old, and she's probably going on to 17. Of course, she knows everything.
So you have a 6-year-old daughter?
I do.
I also have a 6-year-old
daughter.
Oh,
high five.
So there you go. Woo! Yeah, we have something in common there. All right, St. Michael's, I'm just thinking you're into classical music, but was there a moment, because I'm gonna share with you right now, Matt, a moment where I discovered crooning. Is that the word?
That's
crooning?
the word, man.
Okay, so maybe I'll share my moment.
You go.
Since it's Toronto Mike. And then when Toronto Matted is on, not a bad name for a show, we'll get to your
Tobacco
origin story. Right, Tobacco Matt. All right, this was the moment I discovered crooning.
When the clock strikes 6:30, babe, time to head for golden light. It's a good time for the great taste dinner at McDonald's.
There you go.
All right, here we go. Big finish.
It's McDonald's. Come on, make it McDonald's.
Okay.
Awesome.
So I don't even know, mid to late 80s. And
I'm
this,
going to add this to my repertoire.
do it. Shout me out. All right, so he's like the Moon Man. He's a big moon.
Oh, yes.
And he would wear a tux, and he's
That's
a
right.
moon guy, and he would be at a piano, and I didn't even know like, oh, that's a cover, like that's another song called Mac the Knife. Like I just knew this was Mac Tonight, and this ad would run a lot, and that was like my intro to like the world of like Sinatra, etc. So what brings you into the world?
Funny
of
enough,
Frank?
I will also quote a television commercial.
All right, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it was the A1 or is HP? HP is Canadian, right? Is HP
HP
or
is
A1?
the sauce for
Yeah.
like steaks. Okay,
Is
HP
that,
sauce.
one of them's Canadian. Anyway, it was
Maybe
this,
A1.
It was the singing cow going,
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine how much I love you? Moo, 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 moo. You got to be the only one for me, could ever be you. Huh.
Matt.
So, media definitely influences kids. I still remember that.
Oh, it's too funny.
See if you can find it.
I will search for that. That's amazing. So though, am I safe to say that even though you're listening to like classical music and performing like opera at St. Michael's Choir, at some point the tones, the dulcet tones of Tony Bennett enter your eardrums, and the rest is history.
Yeah, so that station, CJRT, that was 91.1, they had, at 10 o'clock, they'd flip over to jazz. So, as a young kid trying to stay up as long as you can, this is it. This is it.
Sorry to interrupt. This is important. Breaking news.
Can you imagine?
I got the key. I got the
How
key.
much I love you.
Wow.
I know the only one for me could ever be you. My arms won't free you, and my heart won't try.
There you go, man.
You're beautiful.
Okay, that's HP sauce. For the
HP,
record.
that's the Canadian
Singing
one.
Cow, 1994.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's somewhere in there that I was like, this is who I want to be. I want to be a cow.
You want to be a cow.
Who doesn't want to be a cow?
Now, like I said, I did a little digging. I always do my homework, and I know that you had there was a family business at play here. D&D Steel Rule Dies and
Got
Carton
it.
Limited.
Oh, how'd you find that?
Oh, please. I have my sources.
All
But
right.
D&D Steel Rule Dies and Carton Limited doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but this was your destiny.
Yeah, D&D.
D&D. So what
Like Dungeons and
happened, man?
Dragons, but like dies.
Matt, you blew it, man.
I
D&D Steel Rule Dies and Carton Limited was waiting for you, and what did you do?
It's funny because my dad was a tradesman, and being a small business kind of guy, you don't have babysitting at home. You bring the kids to work.
Yeah.
And I started to learn how to be a tool and die guy. So this was like my destiny. And now I could probably charge like $120 an hour to do that stuff.
Which is nothing to laugh at.
I know, it's crazy. Like when I was a kid, people would buffoon that. Now it's like try to get a contract.
Oh, dude, we're from the same generation. We were sold a bill of goods. We were sold the lie.
Go to university.
Get
your English degree.
Otherwise, they'd say things like, "Oh, you'll be stuck like with like a blue collar job."
Dude, that was the total story I was sold.
I know. Shout out to my buddy Murray, who went into just became an apprentice. His dad was a plumber, and as a teenager, he was working with his dad as a plumber. And today, that guy's got a trailer and a trailer park, and he goes to the summer. He's got it going on. The best, happiest life. Murray is as happy as a pig in shit, and Murray is running his own business as a in-demand plumber.
I'm telling you, like seriously, when I was a kid, I remember going to my the counselor's meeting, going like, "What do you want to do with your
guidance
life?"
counselor.
And I said, "Well, I want to be a baseball player."
Yeah, sure.
And he goes, "Cool. Are you good at it?" I'm like, "No, I just like baseball."
Right. And
he goes, "Well, what?" I was like, "Well, I've been working in my dad's shop for 10 years. I know how to do all these skills."
Yeah.
And then I remember him saying, "Don't you want to apply yourself to higher learning?"
Right. What was that about? That's such bullshit when I listen back and I think back to that. Like, so many great tradespeople out there were almost like, "Oh, this is your consolation prize because you're not smart enough to go to the U of T or York or something."
Right. So during the pandemic, time to do all the renovations yourself. I had those skills paid off.
Okay, because I need some help here.
No problem.
I now when I come over for my Manhattan. We're gonna work out a deal here. All right, so we got a lot of ground to cover here. I hope you have several hours, and I got some great clips. But I am curious about the Canadian National Exhibition Rising Star Competition, only because I did work 3 years at the CNE well before you were there, winning a contest. But tell me how this contest changes your life.
Sorry, you won a contest there?
I worked there.
Okay. So
I won nothing. I won a game booth. I won a couple of stuffies.
So it's like in my teens, I used to go on these tours with the choir, and think about this. You're going with your friends from your class and other classmates and younger kids and older kids without your parents. Okay, from the age of 9, we're going all over the world, to Europe, to South America, to the Caribbean. And what do you do as a kid? You bring your Walkman and you bring your mixtapes. And so these some of my friends, they had these crooning stuff. So I started to get into this this kind of jazz music. And then there was this talent competition called the CNE Rising Star. So I think it was 1997. I tried out. There was 1,000 people to try it out. Didn't get in.
Okay.
And it was terrible. Then Frank Sinatra died. And there was this resurgence of his music. So I was like, I'll try out for myself as well as a group. And I ended up winning first and second place overall. It's timing's everything.
Wow. And then you realized your destiny was not D&D Steel Rules.
It was working at the CNE.
Limited. It was working at the X. And
I did. The next year I got to sing every day at this competition. And it was kind of the thrust into, I guess you could call it the music business at the time.
And you won the Oscar Peterson Scholarship.
Pretty cool. I didn't even apply for that. I think they just had too many and they had to hand it out.
Did you meet Oscar?
Many times.
He's got there's a mural or a memorial, I guess, right near here on Lakeshore for Oscar because he's a Lakeshore guy.
And he just got his own toonie.
Is that right?
Yeah, he just got his own coin. He was like an exceptional talent, one of Canada's best.
Absolutely.
I met him when I was 13, I think. At the time, he was being installed, I think, to be at the Chancellor of York University. And my mom at the time was working at York. And I remember her responsibility was to take care of him. So I was backstage with him. And, I have my program. And I walk up to him and I go, "Mr. Peterson, would you mind signing my program?" And he goes, "Young blood. Keep young." And it's funny how he's been a part of my life ever since that moment.
That's amazing. I got a clip I'm going to play because there's a great question coming up on a TV show that you're known for, but I need to ask you about your hair. Like, okay, so because I'm looking at your hair. The hair's amazing.
Thanks.
But I feel I could do that too. You have a bit more pigmentation than me, and I'm going to blame that on you being like 4 years younger than me. But
okay,
that's what I'm going to do. But
I'll do it.
I'm curious about product in that hair. What is in that hair? That is not like, because I just had a quick shower after my bike ride, knowing that the great Matt Dusk was coming over, clean as a whistle, but all I have in this is water and it's going to dry. What's in your hair?
Baecel.
That's not true.
You just get a little, I don't know, hairspray.
Brill cream? Is there Brill cream in there?
What's
going on? Is that hairspray?
There's this cream. I don't know. KMS.
Is this a personal question?
No, I don't even know. I just go to the store and buy the same thing I've been buying for years.
Okay, but you are stylizing it.
I have to, otherwise it's like a helmet. It's pretty much like a helmet now.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
I can't wait to take that photo with you afterwards. People can dare to compare. Listen closely, Matt. This is your life.
2 shots of happy, 1 shot of sad. I'm just a singer, some say a sinner.
You're a good singer, Matt.
Was.
Rolling the dice.
I just heard you sing the cow song.
Not always a winner. You say I've been lucky. Woo! Well, I've made my own. Not part of the crowd, but not feeling alone.
It's a rather lengthy question, Matt, but I'm going to read it all because Steve Cole took quite a bit of time to put this together. But he writes in, Mark Burnett's reality show, The Casino, was when I first realized that the word reality is a rather loose concept when it comes to these shows.
Oh, no, it's 100% real.
It was apparent from the beginning that the show was heavily scripted and storyboarded. Of course, that didn't prevent me from watching the whole series. One of the main storylines was whether this young Canadian crooner could get promoted from lounge singer to the main showroom at the Golden Nugget. Can Matt share some details about the casino show? Was there anything that was not scripted or storyboarded and rehearsed? How did he get cast in the show? Notwithstanding the less than stellar reviews and ratings for the show, was it a positive experience and did it have a noticeable effect on his career? For some reason, I recall Bare Naked Ladies making an appearance on that show.
That's right.
Was there a Canadian connection somehow with casting? The floor is yours, Matt Dusk. Let's hear it all.
So having spent a number of dinners or drinks with Mark Burnett, as he best explained it to me, it's called unscripted drama. So there's
Who are we to argue with the man who gave us Survivor?
And The Apprentice.
I won't hold that
Okay,
against him.
anyway.
Hey, Matt, on that note, he gave us The Apprentice, which you could draw a line between that and the fact that who the 45th president of the United States was. Do you have any aspirations? Will there one day be Prime Minister Matt Dusk?
Oh, God, no.
There's no chance.
No, thank you.
You're not even thinking about Ryan
On your
Lozano.
best day, 1 out of every 2 people hate you. So what a great job
You
for an
can
entertainer.
win with those numbers.
Oh, I know. That's the worst part. So back to the casino. Basically, what happened is, they were looking for someone to perform in Las Vegas for this show, and the whole idea was because the guy who was the music supervisor was very good friends with my manager, and he said, "Listen, let's bring Matt down." Speaking in third person here, as he was talking to him,
Right.
and he said, "We'll set up a show in a lounge at this restaurant called, I think it was called like Fiero's or something. Anyway, and we'll bring the owners out, and if they like it, Matt can be in the show." So I was like, as a young kid, watching all these Sinatra DVDs and Elvis DVDs, I'm dating myself now. I was like, I never thought I'd be in Las Vegas. I was like, let's go. And I remember the very first day I ever arrived there, I was staying at the Sahara Hotel. Yeah. And the next morning, it's about 10 o'clock, and I go to the front where the concierge is, and I say, "Hey, where can I get breakfast?" He's like, "Oh, there's this great place called the Pepper Mill, which is like a couple blocks away from there." So I go down there, and they give me the menu, and this lady comes and goes, "Oh, drinks, anybody?" And I was like, "Yes, I'd love a coffee." And she goes, No, I'm here for alcohol. And And I said, what? She goes, it's Vegas, honey. And that was my introduction to Las Vegas. So we do this show.
Yeah.
And the guys come out, they see me, they're big Sinatra fans, and it became this friendship that, it didn't really unfold that well on the TV show, but I'm still friends with them even today.
And that's an amazing break for you because you're pretty damn young. And
it's 23 or 24, I think, at the time. Yeah.
And so did you move to Vegas?
I did. I lived there for 4 years.
Wow.
Because I had my showroom there. I was traveling, off to Asia and off to Europe. So, the question is, was it a good thing for my career? Absolutely. I mean, I think any attention at that grand of a scale will attract people. Even if you get 1% of people who like you, it's a great launching pad. In hindsight, I'm kind of glad that time heals all wounds.
Explain.
Well, it's just like we romanticize the past, but going through that whole experience of being on an American television reality show, everybody is out for themselves. And they're going to bend things to benefit them at the expense of the talent, right? So they are ruthless, but that's okay because it gave me the introduction to realizing how naive I was as a good Canadian artist.
Are you a Bare Naked Ladies fan?
Absolutely.
Do you happen to know how they end up on the show? Do you have any idea?
So they were playing at the showroom anyway, which is at the top of the Golden Nugget. And they were contracted. I don't know what they got paid, but then that's how the whole thing came about.
Okay, because there's a tie here, and I am now skipping ahead a bit, but hey, it's my show. This is what I'm going to do here. But, so we'll fast forward a bit.
Oh my gosh, Call Me Fitz.
Yeah,
Without you, I'd find my smile. Without you, I'd won by mile. Without you, oh, life would be so grand. Without you, I'm half a man. Without you,
Call Me Fitz, and we're going a few years later, but Mike Moniz did write in and say that show was so damn raunchy and funny, one of the best comedies I've ever seen. Yeah. And Jason Priestley playing against type as a slime ball was brilliant and gut-busting funny. So here, it's all coming together in my mind because Jason Priestley gave Bare Naked Ladies their big break on 90210 when Bare Naked Ladies played Peach Pit After Dark.
Wow.
And then Jason Priestley directed the Bare Naked Ladies video for The Old Apartment and really helped break Bare Naked Ladies, because he's Canadian, of course, breaking Bare Naked Ladies in the USA. And now we have Bare Naked Ladies on your show, and then later you're doing the music for Call Me Fitz. My brain's going to blow.
All these Canadian artists, like what is happening here? We are a very small group.
Okay, but how did you get the Call Me Fitz deal?
So I got my management, they got a call about this Canadian show that was coming, and they wanted to use all of this great crooning music, which is, from Bobby Darin, Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole. But of course, the sync rights are very, very expensive. So they had this idea where, hey, what if we hire Matt to put it together? And I was like, a TV show soundtrack? Absolutely. Why not? Why not?
And that's life, right?
That is life. Here it comes.
that's life. That's what all the people say.
Wow.
You're riding high in April and shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. I said, that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on a dream. But I won't let it get me down, 'cause this final world, it keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up, down.
Man, I don't even want to bring it down, but fantastic. This is also from, this is
Call Me Fitz.
Call Me Fitz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Look at you, man.
You love torturing me just listening to myself.
Does it bother you? Because I saw you when I was playing that theme song to Call Me Fitz that you kind of buried your head in your hand.
God.
What you don't like to hear your voice?
How many people do? Like,
People with good voices do.
I don't think so. Remember that thing when you used to have answering machines and you listen, you like change your voice. Hello, you have reached.
Drop it down another.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still working on that.
this?
You should hear some of the voices on this show. Okay, here, I'm going to give you a couple of quick gifts here before time runs away from us. So,
Can you imagine how much I want
this red box is empty. That red box is from Palma's Kitchen.
Oh my
Palma
gosh.
Pasta has a large lasagna for you in my freezer.
What?
So before you leave,
Oh,
I'm putting
you're
a
the
large.
best.
That's from
I would-
Palma Pasta.
I thought you were giving me a corrugated carton here, so you quiz me on my youth. And what's this?
That pull the paper part. Pull that out. You
I was
got
gonna
it.
like
Pull it
explode
out.
in my face.
Yeah. I do this to all my guests. That is a flashlight courtesy of Ridley Funeral
my
Home.
God.
Oh no, he's blinded everybody. Ridley Funeral Home sent that over for you.
This is how they make sure you're not dead. They put it in your eyes. Okay, they're dead.
That'll keep you from dying because you use that in the dark. You don't trip around.
Perfect,
Thank you,
love
Ridley
it.
Funeral Home. Thank you, Palma Pasta. Go to
Thank you.
palmapasta.com.
Oh my
They're in
gosh.
Mississauga.
Been looking
Hey,
for
there's a
this.
Toronto Mike sticker for you, man.
Love it. Putting it on my car.
StickerU.com. Quality stickers, decals. That's where you get all your
Nice.
your awesome
Do you
swag.
pay me if I put this on my car?
Yeah, I pay you
Their
with,
advertising rights?
Great Lakes beer.
Perfect. Great Lakes beer.
All right, and
Cheers.
one more thing, because I want to ask you about a little band called U2, because it's funny. David Alter was here
Yes.
last week, and U2 is his favorite band of all time. We did a lot of U2 chatter. But, there is another gift on that table for you. Do you see the Bluetooth speaker? Do you see that?
Oh
there?
my gosh, this is in another box. This is great.
You take that home when you listen to your Sinatra, okay? Because
you, sir.
season 3 of the award-winning Yes, We Are Open podcast, hosted by FOTM Al Grego, just launched. It launched earlier this month of October 2022. Al's been traveling the country interviewing small Canadian businesses, and he's been telling the story of their origin, their struggles, their future outlook. And if you're a small business owner or entrepreneur like us, you'll find the podcast helpful and
Pretty cool.
motivational. Yes, we are open. Listen to that on that Bluetooth speaker. And yeah, now, so many places I want to go here, but here, I'm going to play the song. I actually played a bit of it earlier, but I want to ask you a little more of how you came to record this, because I found out who wrote this song, and I thought that was pretty darn interesting. I think this is the video, so maybe I'll actually fast forward a titch.
There you go.
2 shots are happy, 1 shot is sad. You think I'm no good, I know I've been bad. Took you to a place now you can't get back. 2 shots are happy, 1 shot is sad. Walk together down.
Yeah, I know you don't like listening to your own voice, Matt, so I'll bring
Love
it
it.
down. But this, of course, we heard it as the theme for the casino. Who wrote this song?
Bono and the Edge
Whoa!
for Mr. S, Mr. Frank Sinatra.
The chairman of the board.
It's quite a story. I
hear
think
it.
it was right after Sinatra did his duets record. He recorded, I think it's I've Got You Under My Skin with Bono.
Yep.
And Bono was like, I'm going to write you a song. So, of course, Frank's like, whatever. But Bono kept on trying to get the song. And finally, he got it together and pitched it. But Frank was well into his late 70s, early 80s. And then at I think it was Frank's TV special when he was having his birthday, Bono was like, Frank, I've been pitching this song to you forever. Now I'm going to sing it for you. And he sang it. Then Frank died. So
Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home.
with the light. Anyway, basically what happened was, the song kind of just sat doing nothing, and I got a call from our publisher going, we got this song written by Bono and the Edge for Frank. He died. How would you like to record it? And I was like, well, I'm kind of busy right now. I'm a big deal. Just got signed Universal. I don't know.
Right.
Of course, it goes, but listen, we got to do the demo, then we got to send it to them for approval. And from my understanding, they liked it. And not only did they give us the title track of my debut record with Universal, but also as the theme song for the casino.
Right.
Coming all back to that story with Mark Burnett.
Sounds great, but I'm going to look in the eyes and ask you a very difficult question, okay? Was there ever any concern they might give this to Bublé?
Oh, God, no. No, man. We got two different voices. I mean, same genre. It's like saying Nat King Cole and Frank. Both great.
You
Two different.
coexist happily, you two. There's no rivalry. You two are... do you guys get along?
Oh, I thought you meant you two, as in Bono and the Edge.
It's very confusing, absolutely. But you and Bublé, and I only bring up Bublé because I think he's got a few years on you, obviously. But that
old man, he's going to retire before me. I'll take everything.
Then you'll take over.
Yeah.
But you're both crooners and you're both Canadian, so there's some obvious comparisons there.
Well, it's crazy, right? When you think about crooners, we don't quit, we die, right? I mean, look. Tony Bennett's still been doing it after 7 decades. Paul Anka's still singing.
Right.
Crooning definitely allows you to age gracefully, unlike pop music.
Good point. So this is you're good till retirement, unless you die on stage.
No, I'm going to retire, but I'll definitely reach out to Ridley.
It's better. Yeah, you can do a pre-plan. Yeah. At TMLXX, which was like September 1st at Great Lakes Brewery, we had a contest, and one of the prizes was
plot of land.
No, you get like a huge discount on your I can't remember what they call it, pre-plan or whatever.
Yes.
So it's always smart to pre-plan.
You can buy a condo for $800,000 or a funeral plot for $28,000. Plan now, sell later.
Why not both?
I'm living forever. Forget it.
Your wife is from Poland?
She is.
Is she of Polish descent, or she actually emigrated from Poland?
Oh, no. She immigrated here to Canada from Poland.
Okay, so this is a great opportunity for me to find out. The comparison I've been using
yes,
is that you are to Poland as David Hasselhoff is to Germany.
It is true.
That's life. Choć już każdy o tym wie, gdy przenosi góry w kwietniu, w maju jest na dnie, żeby umieć wrzucić drugi bieg, znowu w czerwcu móc się wysoko wznieść. That's life, choć żałosne zdaje się być, że niektórych cieszy, gdy spada ktoś na pysk, ale nie dam ściągnąć w dół, bo staruszek świat ciągle kręci się tu.
Now, what are we listening to here?
Well, it's called That's Life, but it's been translated partially into Polish.
You're huge in Poland.
I'm actually leaving on Friday for there again.
So,
yeah.
I mean, you're a big deal here, of course, but what is it with that neck of the woods embracing your dulcet tones?
I think because Bublé doesn't go there, so...
Come on, Matt. No, listen. Bublé's got nothing on you.
So I think there's a good story. I think every song has a great story. Every album, every career. My wife, having come from there, coming to Canada, there's a story. I don't think also a lot of people have taken the opportunity to translate these great English songs into different languages. But as you can hear right now, this songbook can be translated in any language.
I've been a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pun and a king.
Well, that's English.
Oh, it's bilingual, baby.
Bilingual.
It's like Canada, French and English.
And can you name check who are the singers with you? Do you know?
Kuba Barak. There's Andrzej Pisnachny and Natalia Kukulska.
Very popular video on YouTube, and great recording, man. Good for you.
Thank you.
So you're going to Poland.
You know what?
Yeah?
The one thing I got to just mention about music is that great music crosses so many cultural borders. Like, I was just in Quebec. I did a couple month tours different times of the year. But, you got songs like, say, The Good Life. That's a great song that Tony Bennett did, very popular. But it's also a French song that was called La Belle Vie.
Right.
So, being a Canadian and being exposed to all these different languages, I was like, why can't we do this in Polish? Why can't we do this in Romanian? Why can't we do this in Lithuanian? It's a beautiful thing.
It's absolutely, and that's
I tell you, the more you drink, the better it sounds. That's what I always say.
Real quick note here from Moose Grumpy, which I found amusing because Moose Grumpy's real name is Dawn, and then I was thinking this question is literally from dawn to dusk.
Heyo.
I worked hard on that one. Okay, I worked way too hard on that one. Does Matt Dusk get tired of singing Marshmallow World? And then she makes an inside reference. I don't expect you to get, Matt, but she says, is it his black cars? And that's because Gino Vanelli came on, and I just wanted to talk black cars, and he made
that's hilarious.
Can we get off black cars already? And it's kind of a famous line in Toronto Mike history. Do we ever get tired of the belting out the Christmas songs?
It's what keeps the crooners alive is the Christmas songs. I mean, we still got these standards in North America that come around once a year, and it's nuts. It's like my streaming numbers goes up to 5-6 million a month. I don't get sick of it because these songs have so much history for the listener. They remember it. It's like, what is a great song? A great song comes with a great melody and lyric, but also comes with great memories. So that's what keeps the crooning genre alive, as well as great holiday songs.
Do you have a favorite holiday? We'll call it a holiday song. Do you have a favorite holiday song to perform in December?
Happy holiday, while the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holiday to you. So it's like I'm nothing against calling things Christmas or holiday, but that's the one that Andy Williams had. And as a kid growing up, I had Andy Williams Christmas vinyl, which we still have today, which I just broke out a week ago just to make sure the record player is working for December.
Amazing. Right, because we're quickly approaching Halloween.
Don't worry, Costco is already way beyond that.
They're already, what are they, at Valentine's Day?
Yeah, exactly. Buy a skid of cinnamon hearts.
Well, it's down the street from the Costco, right?
The brewery.
Brewery. Now you know,
Great
right,
Lakes
buddy?
Brewery.
Now you know. My son, so I mentioned I have a 6-year-old. I actually have 4 kids, and one of them is 8. And the 8-year-old had when he was younger, he had a Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood themed party.
Crazy.
He was big. So I, like yourself, we remember Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah.
The kids today, they're into Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. So if you don't mind, I'm going to play a little bit. This is
I haven't
cool.
heard this since I sent it in.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Happy holidays, neighbor! Today is a special day. We're celebrating Snowflake Day. And we're putting on a snowflake show. I'm so glad you're here. And I'll be right back.
Come on, Daniel.
It's Snowflake Day in the neighborhood. Let's celebrate with our neighbors.
Just look outside at all the pretty lights.
I'm always looking forward to this day. It's true.
And now I get to celebrate this day with you. Let's make the most of a great holiday.
And while we're together, we'll laugh and we'll play.
Won't you please celebrate it with me?
Won't you please come celebrate Snowflake Day?
Yes. How can you not be in the mood?
Skip Halloween, go straight to the holiday season. I'm ready.
You know what's funny? It's like listening to, I remember when I first heard that. I haven't heard it since then. And I was like, holy cow, this kid is acting like crazy. So I was like, let's get on there's no business like
you got to overact on Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. So here's a fun small world story is that you're now in FOTM, Matt. So FOTM means Friend of Toronto Mike.
Sweet, man.
You're now in FOTM. Better late than never. I can't wait to have that Manhattan at your home there. Now, another FOTM is a jazz singer named Heather Bambrick.
Oh, of course. She's amazing.
You know Heather?
Yeah, she lives like 2 doors down from me.
Okay, so yes. Shout out to Heather who brought me this screech because she's from Newfoundland.
Yes, that's right. Kiss the screech.
So the reason why am I bringing up Heather Bambrick? Because she plays,
amazing?
Yeah, and she plays the mom in Daniel Tiger. She's the voice of the mom.
I did not know that. These are things
you came
I
to the right
discovered
place,
here.
buddy. Yeah, you come here, you leave with a bunch of fun facts and useless.
And a lasagna.
And a lasagna.
Love it.
Absolutely. So shout out to Heather Bambrick.
And Palma Pasta.
And Palma Pasta. But
I'm going to report back on that pasta.
So how did you get the Daniel Tigers? They were looking for a crooner?
It's the same
thing,
And
Bublé didn't answer his phone?
Probably. It's probably what happened is they're like, okay, who can we get for our price range? Let's call Michael, $3 million. Let's call Dusk, $30. Done.
You do it for some from Great Lakes beer, I'm sure.
Totally. What do I get more than 2? I'm taking yours as well. Screw you.
Yeah, you can. I'm going to get you more than 2.
4.
Actually, I'm going to take care of you especially because they brew it in your like backyard, like
Sweet.
Literally. That's where they're doing it.
As long as they deliver. So lazy after the pandemic. I want to leave my house.
All right, my friend. I want to talk a bit more about Frank Sinatra, chairman of the board. Did you ever see him perform live?
Never. I only got into him after he died. How about that? So weird.
And remind me what year he died.
I think it was like 98. I think it was like December 13th, 98. Or 11th, somewhere there. Is that right?
I'm going to take your word for it.
Fact check.
I will. I'll Google that in a second here. It's amazing that so he passes away and you dive in, and like I would say that like if I go to see you live, you mentioned you're going to Poland, but when are you going to play Ontario again?
So Toronto, December 9th, 8th, Queen Elizabeth Center, 9th, warm, hot.
Whose voice was that I just
hot.
heard? Who's in this room with
My
you?
publicist is here.
What's her name?
I don't even know. We just met today. What's your name?
Is she your Uber driver?
Yeah, 5-star ride. She just wants to like stick around here.
I meant to tell her if she wanted to put headphones on.
No, she doesn't want to hear it all.
She doesn't want to hear.
She wants a nap. She's working so hard.
Frank Sinatra, the great. I've recorded episodes with Steve Paikin. Do you know this guy, Steve Paikin?
I do not.
So he's a guy who hosts a show on TV Ontario, TVO.
Oh, yeah.
It's called The Agenda.
Cool.
And Paikin is the biggest Frank Sinatra fan I know. In fact, I was tweeting at him when you were in this calendar, and I said, Paikin, there's an episode for you coming up with Matt Dusk that you're going to love, and he's quite excited about it. So,
Frank,
to warm us up here to talk Frank, where do I... So much here. But you mentioned that Frank did this with Bono.
Yep.
So let's just drink this in for a moment, and then we got to talk Frank.
I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart that you are a part of me. I've got you under my skin. I tried so not to give in. I'd said to myself, this affair never can go so well. But why should I try to resist? Oh, baby, I know so well. I've got you under my skin.
What album do I have to buy to hear this recording of you, Matt?
Sinatra. That's the name of the title of the record.
Volume 1 or Volume 2?
Either of them. They're all
It's on both.
Spotify, whatever. It's all out there.
Guns N' Roses did that, okay? Do you remember Use Your Illusion?
No.
And they had 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah,
Well, you
okay.
were too busy with Tony Bennett and Frank Sinatra.
and the cow.
By the way, Paikin won't know Guns N' Roses either. I'll have to tell him who Guns N' Roses is. But they put Don't Cry on both. Like, I just have memories of different versions, but they had that song on both Use Your Illusion 1 and Use Your Illusion 2. But, okay, so you have albums that these are... did you record these during the pandemic?
Actually recorded them before the pandemic, and I was never supposed to release them. I just did it for me.
Like, so did
This
you
is the
record them
weird-
at home? Do you have a home studio?
I do, but so the plan was, it was like, I think it was May of 2019. I had sung these songs forever, and we had, when I say we, my band and I, we had some downtime. So I said, let's just go in the studio. We got 7 hours. Let's go record whatever we can. So I brought, a ton of charts, and my expectation was 5 or 6 charts, and we ended up recording live off the floor about, I think it was 17 songs.
Wow.
And it was crazy, right? Because it was like 1, 2, take done, 1, 2, take done, 1, 2, take done. And the band, we're all like high-fiving. I had scotch. I was going to bring it out at the end of the session. By like lunch, we're bringing it out. It was the most serendipitous thing that I've ever had happen in the recording studio, ever. And I'm very proud of it.
And how quickly did you bang out these 17 jams?
It was like in under 7 hours.
Amazing.
It was live off the floor. It's crazy.
Could you name check the band? Like, they sound amazing.
Yeah, let's go. Oh my gosh, there's Jason Logue on trumpet, Alex Kondaxioglu, I think James Rhodes, I think Oh gosh, I mean,
Putting you on the spot here.
yeah. There's.
I'll fix it in post. Mr. Black.
There's like 18. There's like 40 people on this record. On
That's
drums,
like broken social scene.
Brian Barlow, Mark Rogers on bass, Lou Pamonti on.
Hey, Lou was here last month.
Oh, I love Lou.
Lou,
We're very good
Lou
friends.
Pamonti. Okay, say hi for me. Do you know James B. then?
Of course, James B.
Okay,
And
do you
he's like-
think-
he's like part of the part of the furniture?
I know. Do you? Where I've moved the camera on you, but do you think James B. is famous?
Of course, a fame means that people know who he is.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with you. It's been an ongoing debate on Toronto Mike whether James B. is
What are you
famous. or
talking
not.
about?
I know.
He's like part of Toronto. There is no Toronto without James B. Yeah.
He's a legend. We
Oh,
just
is
heard
this
it.
his very, very
So
early
this is
record?
this is Look People. You can
Yeah.
hold on to that, but that's when he was the pre cocktail hour, if you will. Before, and I mean, when I look back, was
He
it?
definitely has changed.
He's changed.
Oh yeah, he has those salon parties.
Have you ever been? You've been invited to a James B. party?
I have been. Every time I get invited, I'm not here. It sucks.
You got to spend more time here. Shout out to James B. Shout out to
Yes.
Lou Pamonti. Sorry for interrupting you there, but you said Lou, and I had to mention he came on
Lou's
the
the
show.
best.
He is cool, and his son is a musician, right?
Yes, his son plays. I think he's playing over.
Kim
in,
Mitchell, maybe. Where does he play with? I get my.
There's
does
another
he-
guy too. But
Okay.
he's playing over in Asia right now. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at you guys, globe trotters.
Well, I mean, we're hired guns, bro. We go where the work is.
You go where the work is here.
Could
And
you
that-
imagine playing 30 dates a month in Toronto? It's just like, those days are long gone.
Ron Hawkins used to do it, but that was a long time ago. At the Coq d'Or. And my French accent is terrible, but I'm sure I'm saying it wrong.
Dude,
the Coq d'Or.
In the 1990s, you could play 6-7 times a week. Now, it's a different time.
Well, because I'm going to ask you about how the pandemic fucked up touring.
What are you talking about? I kept touring.
You were touring what?
in one
Zoom,
bedroom, and then the kitchen, the bar every night. Yeah, the pandemic screwed the entire industry up.
and you like you like to perform. You want to be out there sharing your music with the world. And what is it? March 2020. I remember picking up the kids on Friday the 13th of March 2020, and everything changed. Now, what did you do exactly? Like you just got comfy in Etobicoke?
So funny enough, my band and myself, we were driving to Quebec to start our tour, and we drove like almost 1,000 kilometers to out in the middle of nowhere, and then 15 minutes before load, and they're like, "Tour's canceled," and they were like, "But we have our rider."
Yeah.
And I paid for the hotels. We're like, "Screw it, let's go to the hotel, drink," and then the next day we drove home, and like the world was falling. We're like, "What is happening?" Anyway. What did I do? Obviously kept on doing music. It was different though, right? Because usually in the old days, when I say old days, 2019, you'd get in a studio like the Sinatra record. You'd grab like 30 people in a studio and
Right.
record, right? Now, every time I'd have to make a song, it would be like, record the drums remotely, record the bass remotely,
Right.
record this remotely. And so, your timeline became extreme. Also, I did a ton of home renovation stuff. So it
Right.
was
Well,
like-
that's because your dad
I was
taught
a tool and die guy, man. It was just like, all right, let's go to work.
Did you go back to the family business, right?
Who doesn't think about that? Of course. I mean, the other thing is, but I got the skills. So I'm like, anybody need a carpenter?
Well, you're still a young man, eh? Like, have you considered radical career change at this point, or are you like your retirement plan is
Is
that
retirement
You're
a
Frank
job?
Sinatra now.
Well, I mean, music was my backup plan, so we'll see. What's next? I don't know.
Well, if you're in demand in Poland, you're on your way here, and you said you're playing Toronto. What venue are you playing on? Is it December 9th?
The 9th, right? Yeah, Queen Elizabeth Center. Is it
Okay.
Queen Theater.
That's at
Theater.
CNE, right?
It's funny. I didn't realize this. It's at the CNE, but that is where I did my first audition for the Rising Star. So it all comes circle. Nothing changes in life. Same.
The only constant is change, Matt.
That's right.
I've been trying to tell you that. Okay, so pause. I got to talk more Sinatra because
Let's
I
talk
promised
Sinatra.
Bacon.
Yep,
I want to play more of you, Sinatra, but. You look like a smart investor. You look like you know what to do with the money you earn. What is the currency? Is Poland, do they use the euro there? You can use euros in Poland?
Zloty.
Okay. I bet you've been say it again?
It's actually called Złote,
Złote.
but it looks like Zloty.
Okay.
And if we were going to butcher it in English.
And shout out to my buddy Shem Zot. Proud. He new Canadian? No, not that new anymore, I guess, but he's been here for about 30 years now. But
In the grand scheme of the earth.
He might go back. Who knows? But learn.
Since
This is important, Matt.
Yeah.
Learn how to plan, invest, and live smarter with the Raymond James the Advantaged Investor podcast, featuring insights from leading professionals. The Advantaged Investor provides valuable perspective for Canadian investors who want to remain knowledgeable, informed, and focused on long-term success. So I want to shout out Chris Cooksey. He's the host of this fine podcast, and I learn a great deal. I mean, his recent episode is on RESPs, and I posted that on torontomike.com.
ECT.
Find out what it means. You know, that's an Otis Redding song, but you know that. So your Bluetooth, yes, Monera sent that over, so you can listen to Yes, We Are Open.
I want my
But you're,
credit
you're
card machine
also
with
going to
it,
listen
too.
to the Advantaged Investor.
Absolutely.
Because why not? You got the Bluetooth hookup there.
Just going to walk around with it on, listening to his podcast. What can go wrong?
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way.
You have to close with this song, right? Because you can't do this song and then do
Dude, you're
anything
taking
else.
my gig. I'm going to start a podcast.
And this could be your closing jam. Well done, firstly. So more Sinatra.
Beautiful song.
So you legitimately love the catalog of Frank Sinatra.
Well, I mean, Frank sang 1,200 songs, so it's kind of hard to miss anything that he did. It's like, oh, I got an idea. Oh, he did it. Oh, yeah. All right. But this song has so much emotional connection to people. And it's like, if I close my show, everyone has a memory. And it's like this moment where you realize how important live music is. It's like you walk out of the theater and going, it was worth, the 2 hours. Even if I didn't want to go, I'm glad it's over.
It's the song, and again, it's Paul Anka, right? He wrote the song?
So this gentleman, I think his name was Claude Francois, was originally a French tune called Comme d'habitude, and then Paul Anka wrote the English lyrics that they awarded to him. I think David Bowie wrote a set of lyrics too.
When you play Ottawa,
Yeah.
does Paul Anka join you on stage for this song?
Always.
Really?
No, he doesn't. Come on.
I thought you were being serious there. You
No.
pulled
How
my
amazing would that be, though? I think he lives in L.A.
Okay, this is how naive I am. I just
Yeah.
I assume you're all living where you belong,
Yeah.
but you're all in LA, except you. You are legitimately in Etobicoke.
How could I not love the most amazing place in the world?
But did you consider sticking around Vegas? I think I can see you look like a Vegas guy.
It was fun while it lasted.
You know they have an NHL team now.
Yeah. I'm glad.
And a football team.
I do have my good friends from the Nugget, but outside of that, it is crazy.
And home with you were.
You aged very, very fast.
Is that because it's a 24-hour city? Like it doesn't,
Yeah, where nothing is free and there's no booze and there's no people looking for fun. It's quite boring.
What's your favorite Frank Sinatra song?
This one.
Yeah, I know what I'm with you, man. I'm listening to it now, and I'm feeling emotional. It's got that build, that swell.
I tell the story at the end of my show, and it's like, we equate the end to age. But the truth is, though, so many things and so many people don't have the opportunity to live long. And I've met many people who have been told, hey, man, you got 2 years to live, that are younger than us. So why can't they sing this? And it makes you think about, you got to be grateful. So if tomorrow never came, I think anyone can honestly sing these words. That's what makes it so powerful.
Okay, big finish.
Took the blows and did it my Yes, it was my way.
Are you sure that was you? Are you sure that wasn't Frank? Are you kidding me? That was Matt Dusk.
That was me.
Okay, man. So you got these 2 volumes now of Frank. But how did they become public? Why are we able to purchase these albums if they were a private recording? I mean, who does a personal private recording at a studio? How much money do you have to burn over there?
Hey, man, it's art. Why do people spend $50,000 on a painting? It's the same thing, right?
Great question. So you got the material in 2019, it sounds like. You record these 17
Funny enough,
songs. Yeah.
now that I think about it, this was one of the ones after the pandemic.
Post-pandemic.
So
are we post-pandemic?
Will we ever
Depends
be?
who you ask.
Is this the Spanish flu pandemic? So what happened was we recorded all these songs. I wasn't going to release them. And then the pandemic happened, and I noticed, everyone's like, oh, we want to go back to the old days. And I was like, oh, my manager's like, you still got that record? And I think this is one of the songs that we added on where we literally had to record piece by piece by piece. So, it was in my opinion, a necessary addition to that great session.
And you released Volume 1. It's literally called Sinatra Volume 1 by Matt Dusk here. That's his real name. And that was released in 2020. And then in 2021, you released Sinatra Volume 2. Great names, great creative names. Now, Matt, what's your preference, Volume 1 or Volume 2, if you had to choose? Which one do I find my way on?
Volume 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still buying them both. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can tell you right
Do you
now.
buy records? Seriously? Do you not know what the internet is? What's
See the
wrong with
vinyl
you?
over here? I will say, I think Steve Pakin's already making his purchase. And
there goes my
and where do I get
0.5
tickets
cents.
for December 9th if I want to see you at the Queen Elizabeth Theater there?
Amazingly, it's my name, mattdusk.com. It's listed on there.
mattdusk.com. Go there for all your Matt Dusk needs. So, my friend, I believe I promised this lovely young lady with you, I think I promised an hour. I got to tell you, I can do many varieties. Like, I can go into an episode with somebody like yourself, and I can do 3 hours. I can do 2 hours. This is the 1 hour version.
Episode 1726.
Before you go, anything you were thinking, like on your drive here, you were thinking, oh, I want to tell this story or I want to share this with Toronto Mike. I don't want you to be driving home and thinking, oh, I forgot to mention X, Y, Z. What say you before I play some Lowest of the Low on our way out?
Why am I coming here on such a nice day? This is what I was thinking. But it was well worth it.
Listen, we're going to take that photo, so don't disappear on me. I'm going to get your lasagna. We're going to take that photo.
Dude, this has been the best. I've never done an interview where I get all this swag.
The CBC won't give you this, Matt. I'm just telling you right now.
And you know what? I am sick of turkey, so I'm going to have lasagna tonight and a beer.
Yeah, I'm going to get
And I'm going to eat something on my beautiful Bluetooth while I think about my funeral plans.
While you stare at the stickeru.com
Oh, right. I
Toronto
forgot
Mike
about
sticker.
that. No. I'm
don't
charging
forget
for
that.
this. We got to talk about advertising.
What time should I be there? Maybe you, me, Heather Bambrick, and the fam. Maybe we all just have this lasagna together tonight. What do you say?
I say you are right. Let's start at 2. What are you doing?
Look, I would cancel all my plans for you. Come on.
Oh, you're so sweet.
We're gonna be BFFs.
God, we're
here.
bromance. Bromance in the night.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,125th show.
Yeah, Joe Rogan got nothing on you.
Screw you, Joe.
Yeah, get out of here. Toronto Mike's where it's at.
You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Toronto Mike. Matt is at Matt Dusk, but go to mattdusk.com to find out where you can see him live. And see him live because you can't see Frank Sinatra live. He's dead.
That's why I have a career.
Honestly, you know what?
That's what I always tell people. I'm like, why should people come see you? Well, because the other guy's dead. Unless you have a DVD player, which I doubt you do. But,
Then that's not the same thing.
Nah, not the
We
same.
learned that during the pandemic. I was going to ask you more pandemic questions, but then I was like depressed thinking about it.
We're moving on. We're moving on.
Our friends at Great Lakes Brewery are at Great Lakes Beer. Palma Pasta's at Palma Pasta.
Yes.
Sticker U is at Sticker U. Moneris is at Moneris. Raymond James Canada are at Raymond
no
James
Moneris.
CDN. EPRA are at EPRA_Canada. And Cliff Hacking, who lives in your neighborhood, by the way,
We are hanging.
is dropping by later this month to kick out more electronics jams. It's going to be amazing. He's going to tell us more about what EPRA are up to. Ridley Funeral Home are at Ridley FH, and I forgot to shout him out in the episode, but Canna Cabana will not be undersold on cannabis or cannabis accessories. Do you smoke weed, Matt?
I don't inhale.
Are you going to plead the fifth? Because this is not the court of law.
I'm running
here.
for president, so I'm. I don't inhale.
See you all next week.
Sucker born every day. But I wonder who, yeah, I wonder who. Maybe the one who doesn't realize there's 1,000 shades of gray. 'Cause I know that's true, yes I do. I know it's true, yeah. I know it's true. How about you? Are they picking up trash and they're putting down roads? And they're brokering stocks, the class struggle explodes. And I'll play this guitar just the best that I can.